This is the Speak Easy podcast where we go behind the scenes in the journey of what it is to be the successfully paid speaker or author. I am your host, Altavi Spelzer, the voice coach. Listen, I am so excited, guys. I want to let you know that I got to meet this next guest in person. And this next guest is in our membership. I'm super excited, but not just because she's in the membership, but because of everything that she's been doing, because of the journey that she's on, and just the insight that she brings into the membership, not just what she gets out of it. I appreciate every time she's there because it's some great information. And listen, we keep it real in the membership, right?
Absolutely.
There is no other accountability group like it. We keep it real in there to let you know this is real life. We have some real life missions, some real life goals. So I'm super excited to say, hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Altavis.
We were
the love is real.
We were down in, wait, am I doing it the right? Wait, y'all know,
right.
Backwards.
Down, there you go.
We were down in Atlanta and I got to meet Stephanie for the first time, even though she's one of the members of the community. I got to meet her in person. I got a copy of her book, and I'm excited about today's topic because it's a realer than real topic when you consider yourself feeling like a cracked egg in your journey, business, in life. And so first, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience, Stephanie, and then we'll dive into today's topic.
All right. I am Stephanie Rochelle, the fairy tale strategist, and also an author of A Cracked Egg, a story of lost in love to resilient overcomer. And I'm also a speaker. Yes.
Yes, she is.
My sweet spot.
Phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I love supporting women, but most of all, I love supporting women that are divorced, getting ready to move into their new normal. That's my sweet spot. I love helping those ladies.
And you know what? You started it off right at the perfect spot, getting into the new normal.
Yeah.
And what that looks like, what that feels like. But
yes,
let's talk about the piece right before that, when there's all of this chaos. What does that conversation look like between you and those who are in the midst of that chaotic feeling and they just started at the point of feeling like they are the cracked egg?
Yeah. Well, in regards to divorce, I mean, for me, I wish I would have had someone to walk me through it. And that's the whole thing. When you're dealing with someone, I mean, let's back up to my story, because the first part of my story, where the story came, somebody's trying to call me. There we go. That's where the story came from. So I go back to marrying my high school sweetheart, having our firstborn son, then losing him to cancer, right? So I'm like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you get up and go to work the next day? And then the fear of having my next child, my daughter, the fear was real, because I lost a child to a disease. And then somebody comes home and says, I don't want to do this no more. So, I tell the ladies, there's nothing you can tell me that I haven't been through that we can't walk through it together, because that's the fear. It's just, how do I do this? How do I get up and do this? I mean, I thought my life was going to go one way, and the disappointment of it not going that way. Now it's, I got to figure it out. I got to come up with a plan. How am I going to do this? That's the scary part. But that's what I help the ladies do, come up with the plan.
It's interesting. Yeah, you said it right there in a nutshell. It's very scary. A lot of times when we're kind of knocked off track, especially when it comes at a time where it just knocks the wind out of you.
Yeah.
Completely.
Like you have no clue on like how to get up and go to work the next day. It's like, okay, so now what? Yeah. Been there.
Yes, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. As a woman who has been through a divorce, one of the things that I found now this is a deep down in my shanana thing that I had to find out, is that as a woman who's gone through divorce, even if you are the one that initiated the separation, there
Yep.
is still a feeling of failure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, your life did not turn out the way that you thought. Disappointment is real. That's one. Disappointment, depression, anger, all of that is absolutely real. And it's okay to feel it. Sit in it, accept it, all of that. And then move on from it, though. You can't stay there.
Exactly. Now let's talk about that part of moving on from it. So for
Yeah.
your own journey, what would you say was the number one thing that helped you to move on from it?
I have to win. I have to win. That's how I attack everything. I attack going after a new job. I have to win. I attack everything. I have to win. It's like, okay, yes, this is a season of pain. It is. How do I win in this season of pain? That's how I approach and attack everything.
Oh, how do I win in this season of pain? I love that. Simply because
Hmm.
that's where we have to go. We
Yeah.
we
And
win.
the thing is, my daughter was watching me. My daughter was
Yes.
watching me, right? So I in this at the same time that it's a season of pain, I had to show her how to win because you don't know what she's gonna face in life. I'm like, watch your mama, watch your mama.
Oh my goodness, I just had a throwback. That was an old school term. And yeah, you would hear your grandparents say, just watch.
Okay.
Just watch.
Yeah.
I can show you
Yeah.
better than I can tell you.
I'm just saying. Yes.
Now, with that being
Yeah.
said, man, so we go through this process, we
Hmm.
win, we get past it, then you decide to write about it. What made you want to put it into a book?
Actually, I didn't decide to write about it. God told me years ago when I lost my son that I was supposed to write a book. And it wasn't until all these years later that I actually decided to write the book because I didn't want to write a book about something that was depressing. I wanted to write a book that ended in a fairy tale. And actually, my life ended in a fairy tale. I am now remarried. Now instead of one daughter, I have 4 children. He had a son, so I got my son back. I mean, God is just amazing. And he did all that. But listen, he gave me the title of this book 2 years ago, A Cracked Egg. And I'm like, I told my husband, he's like, a what? I said, I know that's what he gave me. I don't even know what it means. It wasn't until I started putting pen to paper that it all came together.
Oh my goodness. So I have to tell you how I have to ask this question because I know how I felt when he gave me a title for the book. And I was like,
What?
I don't think that's a book that everybody gonna read. I don't. Let's just be real about it. I don't think
Yep.
that's a good title. And
Yep.
you kind of had this pullback because you're like, but everybody else got these amazing titles, Crush It, and this and that. And you're like, my title is It's Okay to Cry. And you're like, well, that just don't, it don't even out.
Exactly. Yes.
So how did that
Yes.
conversation go? Because I know it wasn't like, oh, great, that's a great title, God,
Oh
I'll go with
no.
that.
When I told my husband though, he looked at me like, what? I said, I know that's what he gave me. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the name of the book.
Yes, indeed. So for all of you that are listening, that you're in this process and you're in the stage of you're trying to come up with the title, guess what? Stick with the title. If that's the
Stick
one
with
that
the
drops in
title.
your spirit, stick with the title. Stick with the title.
Yep. And it will work.
Most definitely. Because I have people that come and they say, oh my goodness, that title is perfect. And I go, really? Is it? Was it really perfect? And they'll tell me their story. And the title is what caught them. You know how we always talk about, don't judge a book by its cover. No, people are going to judge your book by the cover.
Yep, absolutely. That part.
That part. They're going to judge it.
Yes.
And they're going to judge it
Absolutely.
by what's on the cover as much as the title.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you can catch them with that title. Having the right title matters.
Yep. And my cover, the picture I chose for the cover is like I look like I'm an overcomer. I look like, yes, I'm ready. I love the cover. Yes. Yes.
Love it. So now, what did this process of writing it out feel like for you? I know that when we talk about being a cracked egg, a lot of times there's a lot of shame there, and we
Yeah.
don't necessarily want to show people there's a blemish, there's a crack. So when it comes time to putting it on paper, that's not always an easy task.
You have to relive. You have to relive each experience. I went through it all over again. Even though, like I said, I lost my son years ago, it was like I was sitting in that moment right then and there, and I was totally vulnerable. I mean, I gave you everything I had for that experience. I'm not a fluff writer, so it is exactly as it was happening, and you can read the book and sit right there with me as I'm going through it, each and every step of the way to the fairy tale.
Which correlates directly with what it is that you do when it comes to storytelling, because that's what
Yep.
storytelling is. It's bringing you into
Mm-hmm.
this journey. Not
Yep.
that you're, looking at it, but you're standing beside me. You're sitting on the chair next to me. You see the tears falling down my cheek
Absolutely.
because we write it in such a way.
Absolutely. And I literally have had to rebuild my life 3 or 4 times. So that's what the cracked egg is all about. And you're
Wow.
literally a cracked egg until you rebuild your life, ladies. Until you rebuild your life, you're a cracked egg. And it wasn't until people start buying my book that guys are cracked eggs as well. I had guys come up to me and say, Steph, I'm a cracked egg. I'm like, really? Like, you never know who you're going to support in your journey. Yeah. So it's for ladies and for men.
That speaks volumes. Because,
Yep.
and again, because in the beginning, as an author, you have somebody that you're speaking directly to.
Yep.
When you're telling your story, you have somebody you're talking to, but you don't know who else is going to be affected by that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you do. You have so many times where you'll look up and you'll go, that person bought my book and
That's
read it.
exactly. I was like, wow. Exactly. Yes. I'm so honored. I'm so honored. I'm so glad that I listened to God in finally getting this done, because in getting it done, then he catapulted me into the next thing that he wanted me to do, which was speak. And I was such a background person out to be. I mean, me and you have so much in common. I mean, I'm just like, okay, so okay being in the background. No, that was over once I wrote the book.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it and what's interesting is I found that there's still, depending on what genre of books. So we're talking more self-help, business
Yes.
books, motivation, those types of books. There's no way for you to be behind the scenes.
Yep. And I love it now. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I absolutely, because not everybody will read my book. Some people I will touch on stage. So as long as I'm helping you, I'm doing what it is I'm supposed to do. So I'm
Exactly. The
excited.
main thing. That's the main
Yeah.
thing. As long as you're getting the help
Ab-
that you need.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, now we have somebody in the studio audience that said reliving each moment is devastating. However,
Yeah.
it's a magnificent form when we're able to place it into words. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's
Yep.
an amazing experience. And I tell people, listen, as a writer, I can write a fictional story, I can write a non-fictional story. Either way, it's still going to be, um, done in such a way that it's going to touch so many different lives. While I'm here, once I'm gone, it'll still have that ability to touch
Absolutely.
lives.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's amazing about being an author. I'm just like, wow. Like you said, even when I'm gone, someone can still get it. Someone can still pick my book up and get what they need. And that's what it's all about.
Exactly. Now, where do you see yourself going with it? Like, I know right now you're speaking. I know that, like, she's been tearing the stage up, tearing it
Yeah.
up. I
Yeah.
know that you have the book. You have other things that are coming down the line. So, what else,
Yes.
is in this process that God gave you? Because I know most of it is
Yeah.
probably stuff that you didn't choose on your own.
There you go. Thank you. Yes, I am actually a relationship coach. I am a coach, and I have created a course from my book. So I have the book, I have the course. But yes, I love, love, love. I mean, it's a real movement. It's a real movement.
That speaks volumes too, because those of you that have been saying, I want to write the book, and when I write the book, that's where I'm going to get all my money from. No. So what you just heard Stephanie say is, for one, not only did she write the book, but writing the book led her to also be a speaker. That's one revenue stream. So the book sells, that's another revenue stream. So now you're up to 2 revenue streams. Now she just gave y'all an aha moment, because what you write about can now become a course that you can teach people. You just gave yourself 3 revenue streams from that one book that you wrote.
Yep. It's a legacy builder, and I never ever started it to be that. And that's what God turned it into. I never ever seen it coming, but I am sitting exactly in my purpose and where it is I'm supposed to be. I'm so excited.
Exactly. And it goes so much further. Now I have to ask this question. I ask everybody that comes onto the podcast, what has been a blunder for you in this journey so far? Something that you look back on and you're like, maybe that wasn't the best choice.
A blunder? What has been a blunder? I don't know. What has been a blunder? So far, I'm in amazement. He's just doing everything. I'm really just trying to be intentional about really what it is I'm supposed to be doing, and not, I'm really refining myself and only moving forward in what it is that he has asked me to do. Because what happens is people will pull you in this direction, and then you'll get pulled over here, and then you get off focus. So I'm very aware. I'm very intentional about what I take on, and if it's really the direction of where I'm trying to go with my life and who I'm trying to help. Because you got to make sure that you're seeking out the right people. Like I said, my sweet spot is definitely women, but it's really divorced women, because I want us all to win.
That's listen, I hope y'all heard her say that. I hope you took that and felt that all the way down in your spirit, because it's very easy to get sidetracked. In this industry, it is very easy to get sidetracked because someone will see you do something that's not a part of your brand, it's not a part of your business, and they'll ask you, can you do that for them? And immediately the money part of it will make you say, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I can do it. Because, you'll put a money price on it and say, well, that's an extra amount coming in. And you can easily get swayed and distracted from the journey.
But you gotta always be talking to him and making sure you're in alignment with the direction that he wants you to go. Because if you stay in that alignment, everything that you're supposed to do, he's gonna bring it all into fruition. But if you step outside of it, you may still get there, but it's gonna be the long way. So I'm just trying to stay focused.
Definitely don't want to go the long way.
Not if I ain't got him. No. But ladies, I do want to say one thing. Out here, when you're getting back into this dating world, just understand you got to go through some frogs to get to the prince. Everybody has to go through some frogs to get to the prince, because initially, when you're back out here after divorce, you're not really choosing what it is that you need. At that moment, you're choosing what it is that you want. And it takes a minute to figure out what you need. And that's what I help you do.
Yeah. So, and that can correlate with every bit and piece of it, because how you do things in one part of your life is going to be how you do things in every part of your life.
Yeah.
And that's something that many gurus won't tell you, is that if you can't get the relationship piece at home taken care of, then when it comes to the business, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be somebody that comes, that's a trigger that reminds you of that person, and you have to know how to handle it.
Absolutely.
That's it. You got to learn how to handle it. You got to learn how to handle those relationships, how to handle those conversations. Oh, that's the big piece.
I call it, is your conversation corrupt? Do you have corrupt communication? Because most of us don't even realize it. It's a whole movement, I'm telling you. We're going to get it together, ladies. We're going to get it together. We are going to be better women and wives.
Yes, indeed. Do you have corrupt communication? Oh, I had to put that in the chat for people to think. Oh my goodness. Because when you think about it, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, corrupt communication can do a couple things. It can mislead you.
Mm-hmm.
It can deter you. Because I know that I've had conversations before I got started that if I didn't have another conversation to kind of cancel out that one, I would have been completely deterred for what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing too, if I would have been still married to the first person I was married to, this wouldn't even be taking place, ladies.
Say it again.
It's a real movement. It would not even be taking place. So therefore I would not be walking in my purpose if I was still married to who I was married to.
It's interesting because we don't want to give credit to, what we've been through, but what you've gone through has brought you to where you are right now.
Absolutely.
It's brought you here. It's given you wisdom.
Oh my gosh. Even if I didn't want it to be my story, it's my story.
That's it.
It's my story. I lived every day of it. Yes.
Own it.
I am.
And look, the thing about it is, and this is what I found, that you can tell the difference between somebody who is owning their story and somebody who's just telling their story.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because the one that owns it, you see the growth.
Oh, yes.
You see the growth.
Absolutely. And you have to take that time to grow. Like before any of this could have taken place, I took some time to get to know Stephanie Rochelle again. Because I had married my high school sweetheart the first time. So we were together years. Yes. So yeah, I had to figure out who I was again.
Yes. Figuring out who you are and that you are somebody and it is valuable.
Yeah. Oh yes.
It's valuable. I work with a lot of women that have gone through abuse, and that's always the topic of discussion, is that what you have is valuable. You've spent a lot of time with someone telling you that it wasn't, but I'm here to tell you that it is.
Yeah. It's a movement.
That's it.
It's a whole movement.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Guys, you don't understand. The fact that, she says it's a movement. And we just did a stage of her own and a stage of their own, the book anthology. And we're about to do My Own 2 Feet, the next book anthology. It's amazing because you get to hear so many different stories, and you get to see the perseverance. You get to see what people really went through and how they were able to start their movement, a stage of their own. That's exactly what it was about, being able to start your movement and, looking at everything Stephanie has been able to do. That's what it's about. It's about, I didn't go through this just for me.
Right. And like I said, I didn't want it to be my story, but I have to tell my story so that everybody can know it's not just me. If you're going through it, let's walk through it together.
Mm-hmm. It's having that person that'll stand by your side. That's important. That's important.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I am absolutely loving this conversation. And I want you guys to understand this. Don't think, because I know for me, the divorce piece was never a big piece of the story that I shared. It was some of the other parts that were more prominent in the stories that you've heard from me. It's not to mean that it wasn't significant and that there weren't some things that happened because of it. But, I had to learn myself through that process. I had to be able to share it. I had to heal from it. And
absolutely,
once you heal from it, then you can talk about it even more. But it doesn't happen overnight.
No. Nope.
It does not happen overnight.
I'm all the way grown.
She said all the way grown. I am all the way
All the way
grown.
grown.
It takes some
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I mean, I did a live last night, just a Q&A session on relationships. And I was like, yeah, somebody walked out on me. Absolutely. They sure did. Left me. Left me. That is nothing you want to tell people.
Yeah.
That's what happened though.
And like I said, for you that is listening to this particular episode, whatever part of your story you're sharing, it's you. If it's a fictional part, you've made it into a fictional or nonfiction, whichever. It's still you.
Mm-hmm.
Even the things that we create and the characters we create, it's still you. There's a reason why you created that character. You're in love with that character for a reason.
Yes.
And it comes across on every page. Listen. So now, where do you see the next phase of this going? Is this going to be? Are we going to see a movie with Netflix, or?
You never know. I definitely got to get started on book 2. Yeah, got to get. We really gonna nail down relationship scars to healthy relationships. I mean, we gonna drill it down, because I think a lot of us has forgotten what is a healthy relationship. What is it? What does it look like?
Yeah, I think a lot of us dealt with not really seeing. Can we just be honest? We don't see
Yeah,
healthy relationships now.
exactly, exactly. And it's because we try to make it fit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make it fit. Don't make it fit. It's okay if you have to start over. It's okay to stay next to that guy, even if he's nice, because he may not be what you need. It's okay.
Mm. You know that part, because you get into this headspace of, oh, but he buys me flowers.
Yep.
Oh, but he treats me good. Oh, but he. Okay, no, we got to look at the whole picture.
I'm talking a life partner. Absolutely. Yep. Like the man that I married that allowed me to do all that I'm doing now. And be like, go ahead, babe, do your thing. Not like, where you going? You got to go again. Why you up so late? Why you still writing? None of that.
Right? The one that's going to say, oh, I saw you were up a little late, so I brought you a snack.
Okay.
Brought
That
you a
part.
blanket. Yeah, that part. I brought you a blanket. I'm still
Because
looking for that one. Matter of fact,
yeah, and you
I'll
gotta,
say this wrong. I'm not looking for him. I'm still waiting for him.
there you go. Because it gotta be him. We busy. We busy.
Got
Yes.
things to do. Got things to do. That's the reality of
Yes.
it. But when I was looking, I thought I found somebody.
Yeah.
And because that's what I was looking for, right? I was
Mm.
searching.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell ladies, let the guy knows if he wants you.
Mm-hmm.
Let him prove it. It's a difference. It's a significant difference when the guy is doing the chasing.
Very much so. And so it hit. I didn't get that support of, oh my goodness, do your thing. I got you doing this, you flying there, you flying. I got temper tantrums, and I was like, wait a minute,
This
wasn't
ain't
ready.
gonna work.
I
I
wasn't
know.
ready for that. I said, you got to make
This
sure.
is what I do.
Exactly. You got to make sure that you're
Yeah.
connected with the right person, because
Absolutely.
we've seen Michelle and Barack. We've seen Oprah and Stedman. We've seen, we've seen different relationships that have stood for us, have stood the test of time. And
Absolutely.
there are some key elements in their communication, getting therapy when needed,
Yes.
having that unbiased third party that not your good
And let
girlfriend.
me say this. Let me say this. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 5. So my grandparents, that's who I emulated. But the way they did things back in the day, that wasn't necessarily good.
Come on.
So
They
so
stay
some of the
together regardless.
regardless. So some of the stuff we have to get rid of the thinking that's in our head of what we think it should be and figure out what it really needs to be for us.
That speaks volumes. That
Mm-hmm.
speaks volumes because that speaks to so many different areas of your life.
Absolutely.
You gotta find.
Because you have got to move forward and be you, Alphabet. You've
That's
got
it.
to do what you're doing. You have to.
That's it. And if I don't do it, then who's gonna do it?
You have a goal. You have things that you are put here to do.
And that goes the same for each and every one of you that's listening. You have a goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not just me with a story.
That's right. I love it.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let them know where they can get the book and how they can reach out to you for more information as well.
Yes. You can go to my website, and it is relationship-rehab-specialist.com. There is a tab there for a cracked egg, and you can purchase my book, and I will ship it right out to you. I can be found on Instagram and Facebook, Stephanie Rochelle Consulting.
Guys, y'all know this is such a great episode simply because we spoke on the relationship piece, and the relationship piece literally is one of those foundational pieces for you to have a successful business. Your home relationship, your relationship with your children, it means absolutely nothing to build a business and your children don't have you. They feel as though you've been
Absolutely.
like that. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous for you to build a business and your spouse feel as though they don't have you, that you're an absentee spouse. So you have to learn the dynamics of how that relationship needs to be built and how it's going to work best for you. So if you have questions about that, please, please, please reach out to Stephanie. Make sure that you are connecting, simply because, again, we can see, people on the television and the shows, they'll make you think that everybody's just about drama and that's how you're supposed to live this great life and be famous and successful is through drama. I don't do drama. I'll take it back old school, save the drama
Yep.
for your mama, because I'm not
That's
her.
right. That's right.
I'm not her. So you got to have that understanding, because if not,
Yes.
then you will find yourself in a lot of drama when it comes to doing events, when it comes to other people in the industry. Like, it'll just be a whole big mess, and you don't want that.
Yes.
You definitely don't want that. I'm so excited though, guys. And so
Thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being a guest. Thanks for being one of the World Voice League members as well. Like I said, I love your contribution. I love the support that you give. It's amazing. And I love that, I get to see this journey on this side of it. I get to see it and be like, oh my goodness, when she has her Oprah interview, we'll be like, I remember. I remember.
Yeah.
But it's great. And guys, if you are a speaker and author, I would love to have you on as a guest as well. You can go to bit.ly/Speakeasy Podcast, all lowercase, and choose a date that works best for you. We record 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we would love to have you on by all means, because guess what? There's something that there's something that you've done that can help inspire the next author or speaker on their journey to being a successfully paid author or speaker. With that being said, I am your host, Altavice Pelzer, founder of the World Voice League. And until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.